You can step on a fender. So, how was your experience?
Oh, my experience was amazing. Liz Wardley here on the dock. Hobart, you made it.
We did make it. Made it in style. We're 4th in. That's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. And, you know, I was here the whole time.
Were you really?
Not really.
You've probably had less sleep than I have then.
Oh, golly. It's been one of those races where I don't think anybody on or off the boats could sleep because there's just so much drama.
Yeah, it's been pretty full on. We were running a pretty hard watch system as it was, and then having like front after front the first 2 days, and then it's just been all on.
Yeah.
Like, it's been no rest at all. It's good fun.
Well, I mean, and that said, it's a sprint race for you, so you don't need to sleep, right?
Well, it was pretty short, but it was pretty intense, so definitely found ourselves dozing off every now and then. Sam and I would poke each other in the ribs when we were driving to make sure our eyes were open.
Oh, that's good to hear. Responsible driving at play for Liz Wardley. But what a race for you guys, like you said, finishing 4th, but a bit of drama heading out of the harbour.
I know, we had a pretty good start, and it was pretty hectic on the start line. I don't think any of us expected it to be that hectic. And then as we were approaching South Head, we picked up the exclusion zone and had 3 marks attached to our keel, and so Sam was the hero of the moment and jumped in and cut them loose, but we lost a bit of ground, so we were pretty happy to catch up during the night. Yeah, I remember calling you. I was doing a radio call, and I remember you guys were doing quite well in the early stages, and then I lost you, and when I was heading back in the heads, there you were heading out of the heads. I was a bit confused. Yeah, we decided to we wanted to see the whole fleet, so
excellent.
So we just thought we'd let them all sail past us, and then
that's okay, no worries. So a bit of catch up. Oh, he's going to walk right through the frame. That's all right. a bit of catch up though. You did so well on the first night.
Yeah, well, we just sent it basically. We didn't really have much to lose, so we just kept the big gear up and kept on trucking, and then we saw the front coming from quite a way off, and we negotiated it quite well and managed to just keep the pace up, so yeah, very good.
You did very well, and there was another Volvo 70 in the race. We thought that you and Stace would have a good match-up, and you did for a bit there until more drama struck.
Yeah, well, still don't know what happened to them, but when we heard we were in front, we were pretty happy. Yeah, well, they turned around, they had a bit of damage, managed to repair it and continued. So they did a little bit of a head north face and then turned around and kept going, and then unfortunately we heard that Pete Harburg, the owner, had broken his leg, so... Oh dear.
Yeah.
Don't wish that on anybody.
No, exactly, so they did have to turn around. And you guys also did a little bit of a north face, I think it was not last night, the night before. What was going on there?
Did we have not much breeze?
Yeah.
Yeah, we seem to have found a little hole for 7 hours and managed to stick ourselves right in there, and we were heading north for a couple of times. Yeah, just couldn't quite make up.
I was watching the tracker, I'm like, do they have damage or...?
No, we were just trying to move basically. We called it a pirouette move. That's what Sam Davies called it during the Volvo, so we did a couple of her moves.
Yeah, bit of a shout out to Sam Davies there, but well done on making it here, and I guess given that this Hobart, a lot of people saw it as being a pretty hairy one, what are your thoughts?
I wouldn't call it hairy, I'd call it good fun. You know, the first front was perfect. That's what it's like in Bass Strait. Yeah. So everyone asked what the front's like in Bass Strait. Well, it's like that.
Yeah, perfect.
And then the second one was actually awesome for our boat because we could just keep on trucking the whole way through, you know, just chuck a couple of reefs in and go a bit faster. So the sailing conditions were really fun.
That's awesome. A bit of experience maybe from racing around the world?
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, we were lucky enough to have a Volvo 70 as well with SCA, so we were pretty comfortable.
I'm sure you did feel at home, and I've been plugging the Magenta project every time I've mentioned the interview we did on the cushy couches.
Go the cushy couches. We need cushy couches here. What's going on, Hobart?
I know, we did say we were going to steal them and stick them on the rail. I think we failed in that regard, but the Magenta project, looking forward to it?
Yeah, definitely. So I'm just still trying to keep the following and come and follow us on the Magenta project, because I'm sure we're going to be doing some heaps cooler stuff than this to come.
Heaps cooler stuff in Magenta. In Magenta.
We don't have to wear magenta.
What? Why?
We've done enough magenta.
We can wear our Ciszeck sea boots instead. Yay! This is Nick Douglas for Adventures of a Sailor Girl on the dock in Hobart. There's a hive of activity as Rupert Henry's Chinese Whispers arrived just before Ichi Ban. What a race!
Yeah, 600-mile match race was fun.
Two 60-footers. We're expecting you to be close, but maybe not that close.
Well, we had no choice.
Absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
Your crew, your boat, it all performed as well as you hoped?
The boat was fantastic. Yeah, the first long race we've done, and didn't miss a beat. Yeah. And the crew work was, 100%.
Yeah, and even through that first southerly, you all went okay?
Yeah, well, we were determined not to lose any time. Well, that was our aim, not to lose any time through the transition, the weather transitions, or just...
More beer.
Yeah. Yeah, and that all went smoothly. So basically, I think the weather kind of, as it always does in this race, might played a big hand in the result. We'll see how we go.
Early on you're a standout on IRC, and we'll see how that plays out into the coming days, I think.
Yeah, like us and a lot of other boats, we stopped yesterday for about 6 hours.
Yeah.
So that's frustrating.
Yeah, to say the least.
Yeah, that's the way it goes.
But it doesn't mean you haven't performed when you could.
Well, we went well when we had to, but that big high pressure system seemed to be further off the coast than what we thought. We thought we'd get around it, and that didn't work out.
Yeah.
So anyway.
That's the Hobart, I guess.
Great memories. Yeah, great race.
Gosh, there's some great photos of you flying off waves. You wait till you see them. Yeah. You wait from the helicopter. Absolutely incredible.
Well, I felt like a ball bearing in a bucket.
You just wait. There'll be some memories.
Right, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the photos. Yeah, cheers.
Thanks for chatting to me.
Yeah, pleasure. Thank you.
Worries. Well done.
Yeah, thanks.
This is Nick Douglas for Adventures of a Sailor Girl with one of everyone's favourite sailor girls, Soph. How was the Hobart race, girl?
Oh, this year was a bit of a tough one in the first 24 hours. It was upwind and pretty full on, yeah.
Yeah, it sounded like a rough ride that first night.
Yeah, the first night was, I can admit, no fun. No fun at all. But we just had to push through and keep the boat in one piece. And yeah, I'm with a good bunch of guys, so it was fun.
Yeah, I love this team. I've sailed with them myself, and I don't think I'd want to go to Hobart with many other crews.
Yeah, these guys are really good, and they're really accepting to having me on board, and they're a solid crew. They've got a lot of experience. Yeah, they were really good at sailing in those conditions, and nice to come back into a Hobart race with a good bunch of guys after sailing with so many girls for the last 3 years, I guess. So, yeah.
And you use that word accepting. Is it hard? I mean, given you've gone and done a Volvo Ocean race, to still get acceptance into teams?
Yeah, it was hard actually to find a ride. Luckily, Matt and Gordon took me on board very willingly. They asked all the boys and they accepted me on board, and yeah, it was really good. So it took a few tries, a few emails, a few phone calls, but and a few other contacts. But yeah, it's nice.
That's really tough.
Yeah, it is tough, but nice to be here, and Liz Wardley's over there on the dock, so first two girls in, which is pretty fun.
Yeah, it's absolutely awesome. I've had a chat to her already, and I can't wait to see what happens with the Magenta project. You're still in Magenta now too.
I'm still in Magenta. I'm still rocking the Magenta. Yeah, no, it's good that we're doing these kind of races still, and this is definitely one of the biggest offshore races, well, in the Southern Hemisphere. And yeah, it's great to be out sailing again.
Yeah, and given that you're still trying to find a ride, I mean, the Volvo Ocean race, I'm guessing it taught you a whole heck of a lot. I think you'd be on waiting lists. Or you'd have a waiting list for people.
Yeah, I wish. No, I guess, the girls haven't done a Volvo in so many years that I guess some of the guys don't quite realise what we've done and how much we've improved and what skills we have now. I know coming back into a Hobart race, I can see just by sailing with these guys how much better I am, how much more confidence I have, how many more skills I have on board, I used to just be a bowman, but now I can do everything else as well. So, yeah, I think hopefully we can keep the ball rolling and get on more teams and, yeah, mix it up with the guys.
That is so awesome to hear. Well done.
Yeah, thanks.
I'm glad you had fun. Oh, well, after the first night.
Well, the end was pretty cruisy, so you forget the hard bit, and we got here.
And the race with these guys too, right next to us, Chinese Whisper. That must have been all right.
Yeah, it was epic. It was good to have a boat to, to race, because we sort of had the bigger boats in front and the 52s behind, so it was nice to have another boat that we were basically neck and neck with.
That made it.
Yeah, and we both made it. They got us in the end, which is a bit of a shame for us, but, we both battled it out the first night and got through that, and yeah, it was good. It was nice to have another boat to really race.
Yeah, that's awesome. And what's next for you, do you know?
To be honest, I have no idea. This was my first goal after leaving SCA only a few months ago, and now I just hope to keep sailing and keep sailing at a good level. So.
Well, we'll tick, and this girl's got some mad skills, so
thanks.
let's find us some rides, hey?
Yeah, thanks. All right.
Awesome, give me a couple. Well done, good girl. Hi, Hi, Matt. How you going? Get up. This is Nick Douglas from Adventures of a Sailor Girl. Matt's making fun of my height.
Oh, well, you're pretty tall, Nick, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm really
Just
tall. I'm massive. No, I'm a pocket rocket. But
That's
well
right.
done on your Hobart, Matt Allen. Awesome to see.
Yeah, no, it was a great race. You know, the boat went and the crew went really well, and we had a match race really the whole way with China's Whisper, and it was even though we ended up on the wrong side of the equation, it was you know, tack for tack, and you know, the boats are pretty comparable, especially upwind. I think downwind and reaching we had the edge. Upwind, you know, they're a little longer, a little bigger boat, so very evenly matched, and yeah, I think we only finished 8 minutes apart or something like that.
Yeah,
whatever.
something like that. What a way to go to Hobart, and it was a tough one too.
Yeah, well, yeah, reasonably tough. It certainly there was pretty unpleasant 18 hours there, and yeah, we've certainly seen a lot tougher races than that, but that had its fair share of moments where we were just hanging on, and yeah, one stage in the driving rain, a youngster was driving and getting a bit of doom abrasion on the face. He looks 10 years younger now, but no, it was pretty tough work on the eyes and the skin there with the incoming rain, probably hitting the skin at like 45 knots or something. So
yeah, no, that's a bit hard going, but the 60, good decision.
Yeah, no, the boat went really well, and we pushed it pretty hard, you know, through the rough stuff. I mean, most of the other boats around us were backing off. We could see them backing off. You know, we were pretty confident on the boat. We had Neil Cox on board, who was responsible for building the boat, and we had the boat building kit, and if anything went wrong, you know, Coxie rebuilt Vestas Wind, and so he could do anything after doing that. So
I know you had Billy Sykes on board too, so you had the full maintenance repair team ready.
That's right, yeah, we could repair anything. So yeah, luckily we didn't have any jobs to do. We just lost the wing gear for a day and a half, but we put that back on once it lightened off and the seas flattened out. So no, the boat went well, and yeah, we pushed her hard, and you know, she didn't miss a beat.
That's perfect. Now, something I want to tell you, you weren't here earlier when Rambler hit the dock. I did a bit of an interview with George David, and he's actually suggested that we shouldn't just have one Solace big boat race next year. He reckons we should have a few. What do you reckon about that?
Oh, it sounds good to me. Somebody better talk to the club.
He did talk to the Commodore about it, so maybe we can make that happen. I thought you might like that, being a Solace aficionado.
Oh, look, it's such a great day on the harbour too, and it really engages the public, you know, before the Rolex and into Hobart race, I think, which actually, you know, it's terrific for the sport. We know that, you know, in Australia it probably only gets that moment in the sun each year, and you know, in the general public sense, and you know, that's a great way of doing it. And I'd agree with George. So let's see what let's see what the Commodore has to say.
We'll come back to you, John Cameron.
Over to you, Commodore.
Excellent, but well done to you and the team. I know you've got some great guys on board, and I said to Sophie before, I don't think there's a better team that I'd rather go to Hobart with.
Yeah, no, great team. They did an awesome job, and kept working, you know, the whole way through. Never skipped a beat, and just, you know, really fantastic. I think the best crew I've sailed with to Hobart in you know, in 26 attempts. So
yeah, and don't forget the shore crew too. They had the fenders ready, leases all over it.
Yeah, that's right, and not to mention the scallop pies.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's brilliant. Well, I'll catch you later, probably in Customs House. We'll grab a beer. But well done.
Look forward to it, Nick.
Good job, Matt.
Thanks.
Mwah. No worries. Awesome.
See you.